Von Armand DIY Earth-42 Prowler Homemade Jacket. So to get into it, these are the materials I use for the jacket. And what I do to start off is I cut off a back piece for the outside of the jacket, then trace out another piece. And once I have the second piece, what I'm gonna do is cut that in half. So I'm gonna fold it over and just cut up that little fold right there. And then boom, now I got two pieces for the front outside. And then here's pieces for the inside of the jacket. And I thought it'd be a cool detail if they had two different colors on the inside. And so here's the inside of the jacket sewn together, nice sides right there. And here's me with the shoulders and sides sewed together for the outside. Wearable already. Got that there and there. And then here I got the inside with how it's facing. You can see the seams there, the not good looking side, but for real, that'll be hidden by the outside of the jacket, and they're sewn. But before I'm gonna sew those together, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this backpack I made from that look, and here are the materials I used for it. And so here's when I made it. I made it like last year, so here it is. It's actually like foam covered in two pieces on top and bottom, sewn together on the inside for like a buff look. Then there's leather sewn on, pink felt pieces sewn on, and the lines are all puffy painted. And so yeah, I just took that and now I'm gonna try to put it on the outside of the jacket. You can see I tried to trace there where I'm gonna put it. And after perfectly tracing it, I'm just gonna sew it on. So as you can see, yep, right there. Backpack piece all sewn on. Really cool looking thing. It doesn't look like how it looked in the picture, but I like it for my own thing. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take these black straps from black fabric and sew them on for backpack look. And then so yeah, the straps are there now. And what I can do next now is I'm gonna make the like Dracula three-pointed pink collar. And to do that, I just started out by cutting off a random shape that kind of matched with it. There it is right there. And then I got the outside fabric pieces that I'm going to use for the pink look. There's those there. There's the inside shape. As you see, there's seam allowance around it, so it can all fit perfectly, because I also ended up cutting multiple shapes to put in for like stiffness and whatnot. You see I got many layers there to use. And then yeah, next thing I'm gonna do now is just sew the outside pieces together. Got the corners there. See the corners above the stitching lines? You're supposed to cut those off so that when you flip it out, the corners are sharp. And then I just flipped it out, stuck all the fabric pieces in it, and just closed it off. And so now I have the collar thing. Here it is right here, complete on my neck. It stands up well and looks good enough to me. So now I'm going to try to pin it in place to make sure it actually works. So I pin it onto the jacket right there. You can see, just making sure it works. And it kind of did, but when I sewed it in, it actually just did this. Yeah, when I sewed it, after I finally sewed it, it just is not staying up because I think the circle was too thin. And I need to make the circle wider, actually. So to do that, I just decided to fold it down to where it'll stay up. And then I just mark it, and I just cut off the excess folding after I fold it down right there. You see, I fold it down like that. It actually stays up. So now I just have to cut off the extra bit that keeps it going back. See that? Fold it down. But then once I got the right shape, I can finally sew it to the jacket. So I'm going to take both pieces and flip them back. So there you see, front of the jacket, outside and inside, folded back. And then I'm going to keep the collar in between, because if I keep it in between there, and then I sew it along, I sew along those edges right there. Just give me a second. See? With the jacket lined up, see I marked it so it lines up perfectly in the middle. And then with the jacket in between the pieces and just sew along those edges there, it nicely comes out with on the inside of the jacket. And I got the collar now. Next, I'm going to take this zipper and just do the same method where I just fold it down and just sew along the edges there. And so, yeah, now I got a zipper in my jacket. And And once I have the zipper, I just need a top stitch over my zipper, and I need to flip it back inside out and close off the bottom there, and then I'll like top stitch over that as well. And when I do close it off at the bottom, I can just still flip it out through the armholes, as you can see. And then right there, I got like a finished body now. What I can do next is move on to the sleeves. So I just traced over the sleeve fabric, got the flat piece there. Then I got like the curve for over the shoulders. The flat piece is for the underarms, it's just following the pattern of sleeves. Of course, I just cut those out after folding fabric, of course, because you don't want a seam at the top. And I just stitch the bottom and then flip it inside out and just sew it to the jacket there. And what I'm going to do is actually add these backpack bars that I have. It's a little detail. I recommend doing this after I sew the sleeves, but I just chose to do it before. So there it is right there, as you can see. And then I just have those added now. And what I'm going to do next is don't know if he had these on his suit. I'm going to add like these elbow pads. As you can see, I got like a inside piece, and I'm going to cut 2 top pieces to sew together and flip out of that black square right there. As you can see, I got him here. And then what I did was I just chose to add a letter square for detail. And then after I got them sewn together and flipped them inside out, I actually just closed off the bottom there and had a couple seams right at the bottom for a cool looking detail. And then I just attached those to my elbows. So, and what the only thing left to do was these buckle details on his backpack. I just puffy painted those with silver puff paint, and it's done. That's it. So now to reveal it to you, here it is, my Earth-42 Prowler Jacket. Homemade, start from scratch. See right there? Just got a crop top, short purple jacket, barely even goes across my elbows. It varies, but it's just definitely a cool detail. Got my backpack there, and so yeah, that's my jacket. And I know it goes without saying, man, but the magic of the Spider-Verse movies shows with this character for me. He became my favorite character in the Spider-Verse movies with not even 2 minutes of screen time and just 3 lines. Like, I don't get it. And it definitely goes without saying that I'm ready to see more of him and beyond. Can't wait for that. Thank you for watching.